And welcome back. It's been about 2 months since I made a video about what we're seeing right now in Boise, Idaho, as well as Phoenix, Arizona. So in today's video, I'm going to touch on what's happening right now regarding those housing markets, what we're seeing right now, and especially how that compares to pre-COVID levels. I'm also going to be sharing what we're seeing right now regarding home prices, especially compared to 2020, and of course compared to the peak that we saw last year as well. So I have a lot to share. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Let's first talk about Boise, Idaho. So new listings have been skyrocketing ever since March this year. New listings are up by 3.4%. So there's approximately 3% more new listings that hit the market over the past 1 month compared to 2022. Also, the number of new listings is above 2020 and 2021. This is so much different compared to 1 month ago. 1 month ago, new listings were down by 56% on a year-over-year basis. So new listings have been increasing big time in March. So let's have a look at active listing inventory or housing supply in Boise. So look at that. Housing supply is actually down 2.77% from 2022. There's fewer houses for sale right now compared to the same time frame in 2022. This is so much different compared to the summer months last year. In the summer months of last year, inventory was up by 20% compared to the same time frame in 2021. Also, it's worth noting that active listings are down from last year, but also down from 2021 as well as 2020 as well. So active listings are down by 3% from last year. Let's have a look at contracts being signed between buyers and sellers. That's pending home sales. Those are down by 32.3%, approximately 32% fewer contracts being signed between buyers and sellers. Also, the current levels right now are far below 2020 and 2021 as well. Let's also have a look at the number of closed home sales in Boise as well. That's down 13.8% from 2022. The number of home sales this year, this March, is below 2020 and 2021 as well. So a decrease in contracts being signed, a decrease of closed home sales as well. With that said, let's have a look at the share of price reductions according to altosresearch.com. The share right now is at 37%, much lower than the share back at 71% that was set in mid-November last year. That was at least a 5-year high. So the levels right now is at 37%. It is normal to see decreases compared to the winter months, just like we see every single year here. But at 37%, this is much lower compared to the same time frame in 2022 at 26%, and much higher compared to 2021 at 10%. Now it's at 37%. And back in 2020, this time, the share was 22.4%. 2019, approximately 28%. And back in early April of 2018, the share was only 18%. So right now, the share price drops at 37% is at least a 5-year high during that same time frame. All right, let's have a look at the median sold price for the Boise housing market here. And this is where it gets really interesting here because the median sold price is at $435,000. A decrease of 16% compared to 2022. Compared to the same time frame in 2022, a decrease of 16%. Also look at this because we're very, very close to getting to 2021's levels. So we're about $2,000 off. So what this means is that the median sold price in Boise, Idaho is at a 2-year low. The gains we saw in 2021 and the first half of 2022 have been wiped out due to the fact that prices have been coming down greatly ever since May or June last year. And speaking of that, look at this. The median sold price right now at $435,000. The peak was right here, more or less in May last year, at $547,000. This means the median sold price has decreased by $112,000 since May last year. Equates to a 20% decrease in home sold prices. So in other words, because prices have come down by 20% since last May, This is why we're seeing at a 2-year low regarding prices in Boise, Idaho. Now, having said that, we're still up greatly compared to pre-COVID levels. Back in March of 2020 compared to right now, home prices are still up by 34%, going from approximately 324,000 back in March of 2020. Now again, it's about 435,000. So by my dumb math, that's an increase of 34%. Here's another mind-blowing stat as well, because look at this. This is how fast or how slow houses are selling right now. So the median days in the market is at 81 days. This is a giant increase of 71 days, an increase of 71 days from last year. So days in the market at 81 days right now. 1 year ago, days in the market, or the median days in the market, was 10 days. So it went from taking 10 days to sell a house 1 year ago. Now it's taking approximately 81 days. Let's also have a look at the average sale price to final list price ratio, because that ratio is more or less 99%. Houses on average are selling for about 1% below the seller's final list price. I emphasize final because this actually excludes any price reductions, right? So houses on average selling for about 1% below the seller's final list price. This is different compared to last year, because last year houses on average were selling for just over the seller's asking price. Also back in 2021 at this time, houses were selling for about 2% over asking. All right, that was the latest trends we're seeing right now in Boise. Let's have a look at Phoenix, Arizona as well. Let's first talk about new listings. New listings are down 24.2% from 2022. Far fewer houses being listed for sale right now compared to the past few years as well. So approximately 1,656 new listings. Back in 2020 through 2022, there's around 2,000 houses that were listed for sale during that same time frame. So new listings are down by 24%. Let's have a look at housing inventory right here. Housing inventory in Phoenix is actually up by 57% from 2022. 18,000 houses for sale. Back in 2022 at this time, there was approximately 11,000 houses for sale. Now again, there's 18,000. And believe it or not, this 57% increase of housing inventory on a year-over-year basis is actually less than the gains we saw last summer. Last summer, for example, let's just say September and October, we saw gains of around 64%. What's also interesting regarding this as well is that back in 2020, inventory was increasing. It was flat in 2021 and 2022, but this year, more or less on a downward trend. And this is likely due to the fact that new listings are down compared to the past few years. Again, down by 24.2% for the 4 weeks ended March 26th this year. Let's also have a look at the number of closed home sales in Phoenix, Arizona as well. That's down 26.3% from 2022. Also below levels in 2020 as well as 2021 as well. So closed home sales as well as pending home sales are down. Let's have a look at the share of price drops right now in Phoenix at 49%. Down from the highs of around 68% back in mid-November. But at 49%, this is much higher compared to the past several years. 1 year ago, the share was 20%. 2 years ago, it was 19.6%. Back in 2020, it was 35%. And back in 2019, it was 50%. So the current levels we have right now is more or less on par with March of 2019. I also want to provide an update regarding home sold prices in Phoenix, Arizona as well, because on a year-over-year basis, it's down by 9%. The median sold price is at $426,000. Look at this though, because at the peak, which is more or less right here at $487,000, that was back in June last year. This means home sold prices are down by 12% compared to last year's peak. That obviously is a giant decrease compared to last June, but not as bad compared to Boise, down by 20%. Also, when we look at pre-COVID levels right now, even though home prices are down by 12% from last June, they're still up by 39% compared to March of 2020. Right now, the median sale price at $426,000. During this time in 2020, home prices were at $307,000, an increase of 39%. I also want to share how fast or how slow houses are selling in the Phoenix real estate market. So the median days in the market is at 59 days, taking approximately 59 days to sell a house, but that's 36 days longer compared to 2022. Back in 2022 at this time, it was only taking about 23 days to sell a home. Also, here's a look at the average sale price to final list price ratio. That ratio is at 98%, meaning houses on average are selling for about 2% below the seller's final list price. This is much different compared to 2022 at this time, when on average, houses were selling for about 2% over asking. Now they're selling for about 2% below. And with that said, please comment below with your biggest takeaways from today's video. Also, if you guys got any value in this video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. And of course, appreciate you. Hope you guys have an awesome day. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video.